Hello and welcome to Nightly Scroll. I'm Hayley Caronia. Happy Monday evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a good weekend. I know I did. I played some pretty bad golf yesterday, but that's okay. We're here. And I just wanted to say, for the record, we started the show right on time today. We were not messing around. We hit that 30-second mark, that 30-second countdown, 30 seconds before the show. So great way to start off the week. Let's get into the show. Do these Bubba emails really hint at a Trump-Clinton bromance? We're going to get into that, and plus all of the funny internet reaction to those emails. Also, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been excommunicated from Magaland from POTUS inside the feud and what Jasmine Crockett has to do with it. Also, why are the Democrats so obsessed with Epstein and his ties to Trump, but not the Democrat lawmaker who is texting Jeffrey Epstein during Michael Cohen's testimony in 2019? We're going to get into that as well. Also, a Michigan congressional candidate is a furry, and he is not hiding that. It's actually the only photo on his website. It is him. You can't even see his face. And he also didn't think that it was evil that Charlie Kirk got assassinated. So good job, Michigan. I would say do not vote him in. Also, rapper Nicki Minaj is set to speak at the UN this week regarding Christian persecution in Nigeria, and she's teaming up with the Trump administration to do so. Before we start tonight's show, I want to send a quick message from our sponsor for tonight's show, Home Title Lock. If you're a homeowner in America, you need to listen to this. The FBI has been warning about a type of real estate fraud on the rise called title theft, and your equity is the target. Here's how it works. Criminals forge your signature on a single document, and they use a fake notary stamp and file it with the county. And just like that, on record, they own your home. Using your ownership, they can take out loans against your equity or even sell your property, and you won't even know about it until foreclosure or collection notices show up in the mail. That is why I have partnered with Home Title Lock, so you can protect your equity and find out today if you're already a victim. Use my code SCROLL at HomeTitleLock.com and you will get a free title history report and free 14-day trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That is 24/7 monitoring of your title records, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud occurs, their US-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix it. This is why I tell all of my friends who have houses, because I don't have a house yet, but everyone in my family, they are covered by Home Title Lock. Please protect yourself. Don't be a victim. Protect your equity today. That is HomeTitleLock.com, promo code SCROLL, or use the link below. Paid subscription after the 14-day trial ends, and you can cancel at any time. All right, put your phones on Do Not Disturb. Nightly Scroll starts now. It seems like the House and Congress, they are going to vote on whether or not to release the Epstein files as early as tomorrow. So we have that to look forward to. And Epstein victims released this ad ahead of that vote. Watch. They're showing photos.
So much pain.
So much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17.
14 years old.
This is me.
This was me. This is me.
When I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
It says 5 administrations and we're still in the dark. Call your Congress member and demand they release all of the Epstein files. And this vote is set to happen tomorrow, and I can't imagine the vote not going through because there is now a bipartisan effort to release the Epstein files. Obviously, Republicans have been down to do this for years. And, you know, Democrats came on board just 5 seconds ago when they realized that maybe we could get Donald Trump. Maybe Donald Trump is in here and we can get him on something that hasn't worked in the past. But that I think is why the Democrats are interested in doing this. They don't care too much about the victims. But, Democrats, while the government was closed down, the longest government shutdown in history, 43 days, somehow the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee were able to get 20,000 pages of emails and documents released from the Epstein estate. And in those documents were emails from Jeffrey Epstein to some of his buddies that are close to him in the journalism world, i.e. New York Times reporters who were tipping him off about investigations into him and things like that, which we covered last week. But we didn't cover the Bubba emails. And, the only reason why I'm really covering these today is because of the internet reaction. I was scrolling on TikTok this weekend and people have been making fun of these emails. So let's pull them up and we'll go through them. Now, this is a little small for me, but if you could zoom in, that would be awesome. All right. This was Mark Epstein. This is Jeffrey Epstein's brother saying, "How are you doing? A while back, you mentioned that you were pre-diabetic. Has anything changed with that? What is your boy Donald up to now?" And Jeffrey Epstein replied, "All good. Bannon with me." And then we could scroll up here. Then Mark replied, "Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba." Jeffrey Epstein replied, "And I thought I had Cirrus." Then Mark Epstein replied, "You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard." And Jeffrey Epstein replied, "You mean Donnie T." So then Mark replied, "I'd rather be in Donnie D's shoes." I don't know who he's talking about Donnie D. Is that like a Get Hard reference that I'm not going to understand because I don't watch movies? I mean, Donnie T is obviously Donald Trump. I don't know who Donnie D is.
I don't have any idea.
Okay, so we don't know who Donnie D is, but Donnie T is likely Donald Trump. But the whole point that the whole sticking point really with these emails is, if you could scroll down, is the ask him if Putin, as in ask Steve Bannon, if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. And who's Bubba? Well, it turns out that there were some internet rumors that Ghislaine Maxwell's horse was named Bubba, but the more credible, I guess, rumor is that Bill Clinton went by Bubba.
Ooh.
So was there a serious bromance brewing between Donald Trump and Clinton? Bill Clinton, just to make this clear. Do I believe any of this? No, obviously. This is the same as, the Russian PP tape hoax. I do not believe in that either. All of that was debunked. And of course, nothing in the Jeffrey Epstein emails that have come out recently have tied him to any wrongdoing or criminal wrongdoing. And this to me just seems like these are guys kind of like poking fun and like talking shit about a guy that they don't like. But, the Democrats love jumping to conclusions because even on CNN, they've had to start walking back all of these things. They're saying, these emails then prove that Donald Trump was a pedophile. Well, this email, it proves that Donald Trump was on the island and he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein and he spent Thanksgiving with him. And then it turns out that none of those things were true. And you could see where Donald J. Trump spent Thanksgiving in 2017, and it was with troops and Melania Trump. So turns out he wasn't with Jeffrey Epstein. But again, the Democrats, they just take these little bits and pieces, and then they fill in the blanks with their very wild and active imaginations. So like I said, jumping to conclusions 101. And, the Democrats just take these things and believe it. So if Jeffrey Epstein says something about Trump giving Clinton a blowjob, Democrats are just like, okay, I guess that's true. And, also, we talked about this on Friday. I think this is very odd that a lot of this conversation is happening over email. These are, I would say, smart people. These are well-connected people. They're not, maybe they're careless, but if you are running a criminal sex trafficking enterprise, are you going to be emailing about, some people, your enemies? It just seems a little odd to me. This was in 2017. It's not like Signal and WhatsApp and all these end-to-end encrypted services didn't exist. you can have, conversations that are more protected. And like Justin pointed out on Friday, this is happening over Gmail. So I don't know. It almost seems like maybe these guys are just joking about Donald Trump and they don't like Donald Trump because, Donald Trump allegedly kicked Jeffrey Epstein or banned him from Mar-a-Lago. Jeffrey Epstein clearly didn't like Trump after that. Is it because Trump knew too much? Maybe. So maybe these are just emails, and I'm just speculating here, but maybe this is just, Jeffrey Epstein planting seeds about Donald J. Trump. Maybe he wanted these emails to get out. I don't know. But here is how the internet has reacted to these rumors about Trump servicing Bill Clinton. So here's the first one. Monica and Donald are under Bubba's desk to see who's next, and it's two people doing rock, paper, scissors under the Resolute desk. Supposed to be the Resolute desk doing rock, paper, scissors. I can't imagine Donald J. Trump and Monica Lewinsky fighting over Bill Clinton and who can service him next. It just seems, just not something that would happen, obviously. This next one did make me laugh, though. This is Pete Buttigieg kissing his dreams of being the first gay president or openly gay president goodbye. Pete Buttigieg watching the title of first gay president slip further and further from his reach, and he's just in the fetal position, sad, looking out the window. What could have been? What could have been? And, it turns out that James Buchanan might have been the first gay president, but was he openly gay? No. So, and, again, guys, I'm playing into the internet fun here. I do not think that Donald Trump is gay. Although we all joke, my gaydar is broken. I think that a lot of people are gay when they're not. I do not think that Donald Trump is gay. But, James Buchanan was not openly gay, although I think he had a roommate. He was roommates with another male politician, and maybe they were closer than friends, more than friends, I don't know. But Pete Buttigieg could still maybe one day be the first openly gay president, because if Donald Trump is gay, I don't think he would admit it. But how funny would it be to own the libs and have Donald Trump be the first gay president? In another timeline.
Thank you, Hayley, for that rabbit hole.
In another timeline. Anyway, this next video also made me laugh. Two of my bitches in the club. Watch this. Bill Bubba Clinton backstage during the 2016 presidential debate. Two of my bitches in the club. They know about each other. Which, if you think about it, and again, I'm prefacing this by saying I know that this is not true, but just entertain this with me for a moment. If Donald Trump and Bill Clinton were an item, could you imagine, rewatch the 2016 debates with that in mind? Bill Clinton in the audience watching his wife and his, gay lover fighting. Okay, and then this next one is a guy doing an impression of Trump reacting to all of this lunacy. Watch this.
People are saying that I did some real nasty things with a man named Bubba. I didn't do those things, but if I did do those things, I would be the best at it. One of the believe me, we're looking into it. I could, I would, if it was, I would have rocked that guy's world, believe me, but I didn't do it, okay?
Believe
me. I'm not, I don't swing that way, but if I did, I would swing so much farther than anybody else has ever seen. We're talking, RuPaul would be jealous of me. It'd be so beautiful.
Oh my gosh. I was really laughing at the comments of these TikToks because people were saying that, Bill Clinton was with anyone and everyone except for his wife, Hillary. Do you remember in the 2016 election leading up to it when Donald Trump tweeted something like, Hillary can't even please her own husband. How could she please America? That also hits different if these rumors are
like
true.
An Adam Sandler skit or something. Someone's got to make a movie out of this.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I'm sure Netflix is working on this right now, except everyone's black. they'll race swap Bill Clinton and Trump. People were also joking that the One Big Beautiful Bill was named after One Big Beautiful Bill. Oh, it's so funny. And then people were also joking that Bill Clinton was going to be the first lady no matter who won the 2016 election. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm not going to get through all of these other reactions because they are inappropriate, and on second thought, I'm not going to read them. But anyway, this all also makes it just super obvious why the Democrats never wanted the Epstein files to come out and why they didn't use it as Oppo research in the 2015 election, because they couldn't release the Epstein files and then tank Hillary's chances of becoming the president if they're going to get Bill Clinton implicated. So, and there was nothing incriminating Trump. So maybe the Democrats were so dead set on keeping this locked down because they knew that it would take down the Clintons and not Trump. Maybe that. But moving on from the Epstein stuff, President Trump has revoked his endorsement of Marjorie Taylor Greene on Truth Social. This happened late on Friday, and it's the longest Truth Social post, so I'm not going to read it for you, but essentially he's not too happy with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Marjorie Taylor Greene posted a text conversation with allegedly President Trump about the Epstein files. So look at this. I also want to say, before we get into these text messages, if you are releasing text messages publicly, you are not on the right side of history. I think it is so classless, and especially with the president of the United States. I felt this way too with Candace Owens releasing text messages of her and Charlie Kirk. Like, Charlie Kirk is dead now. He can't defend himself. You're talking about things that he has said. It's just, do not release your text messages with people. I mean, loyalty is dead these days. No one is, and these are supposed to be your friends. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she even says, like, I've spent millions of my own money to get Trump elected. And then it's like, these people, they flip so quick. Loyalty is dead in politics. But anyway, Marjorie Taylor Greene posted this, a whole sob story on the X post. But if we could click on the blue text here, she said, this is allegedly a text message to DJT. Check the flight logs of Epstein's plane. Bill Clinton is on there like 26 times, Hillary too. And for many of us, releasing the Epstein files has always been for the women who are victims of Jeffrey Epstein, victims of Jeffrey Epstein, but also because we believed that Democrat bad guys like the Clintons were entangled and involved with him. Epstein was the spider that wove the web of the deep state. Lean into it. And how Donald Trump responded to this, if he did, we don't know. If this was even a text, we don't know. I don't even know who this is. Natalie who? She's posted another text message with the Donald J. Trump one to someone, Natalie H. Well, I don't know who that is. The Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and, I don't know how that's relevant, but whatever. Anyway, Donald Trump posted then Marjorie Taylor Greene. And we know Donald J. Trump is amazing when it comes to calling people names. He's the nickname generator. And he posted this on Truth Social. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a disgrace to our great Republican Party, but the beef is not over. It's just beginning. Here is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Again, we've been talking about this. She's doing this media tour and she's all over liberal networks. I don't know if she's trying to set herself up for 2028. She wants to seem like a moderate. Maybe she wants to distance herself from Donald Trump. Well, it's certainly working. So here she is on CNN talking about the Epstein files. Watch.
I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected. And I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration. And I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country, and that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor. And that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, you know, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations. And I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files.
Well, after all this beef, it seemed like Donald Trump, whether he's, souring on Marjorie Taylor Greene or not, he agreed that he thinks that Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files. It seems like he's just kind of done with this, but here's what he posted on Truth Social. He said, as I said on Friday night aboard Air Force One to the fake news media, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide, and it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax perpetrated by the radical left lunatics in order to deflect from the great success of the Republican Party, including our recent victory on the Democrat shutdown. I will say that this wasn't a Democrat hoax. When Republicans were running for office in 2024, people wanted Republicans. They wanted Trump to release the Epstein files. They wanted Attorney General Pam Bondi to release the Epstein files. And now all of a sudden, it flip-flopped and now it's a Democrat hoax. I will say Democrats have piled on because they think they can get Trump. But anyway, I continue. The Department of Justice has already turned over tens of thousands of pages to the public on Epstein, are looking at various Democrat operatives, Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers, and their relationship to Epstein. And the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. I don't care. All I do care about is that Republicans get back on point, which is the economy, affordability, where we're winning big, our victory on reducing inflation from the highest level in history to practically nothing, bringing down prices for the American people, delivering historic tax cuts, gaining trillions of dollars of investment into America, a record, and the rebuilding of our military, securing the border, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he is saying, let's start talking about the Republican Party's record-setting achievements and not fall into the Epstein trap, which is actually a curse on the Democrats, not us. Let's make America great again. An interesting whole angle to this Marjorie Taylor Greene Trump beef is that Jasmine Crockett, who coined the term bleach blonde, bad built butch body, whatever, she's on the House floor absolutely ripping Marjorie Taylor Greene to shreds. She said, I'm here for you. So Jasmine Crockett was kind of showing some support for Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying this almost feels like a moment where Marge should phone a friend. I'm here for you, girl. I told you not to trust him. All he cares about is himself and protecting pedos. He never loved you. My granny always said, be with the man that loves you more than you love him. Trust me, sis. You are better off without him. The girls are fighting. That was short-lived. Then she turned on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene then took to X, saying that because Donald J. Trump has come out against her so publicly that now she is facing death threats. She has needed to get security. She said, I'm now being contacted by private security firms with warnings for my safety as a hotbed of threats against me are being fueled and egged on by the most powerful man in the world, the man I supported and helped get elected. Now, if you could scroll up to Jasmine Crockett's response, she said, okay, now that Marjorie Taylor Greene has said it, do y'all now believe me when I say that Trump fuels hate against those who oppose him? Will faux news finally start to address that this man has created a permission structure of hate and violence? Isn't this hilarious that now the left is concerned about hate and violence? Or will you only talk about it when it's one of your beloveds? Next time you want to run a story about me legally paying for security, maybe run the one on the insane amount of threats that I get that you are complicit in fueling. And I just have to set the record straight here because nobody has a problem with anyone personally paying for private security. What conservatives have an issue with is when these same politicians want to defund the police and then infringe on the Second Amendment. That is the hypocrisy that we all call out. If Jasmine Crockett wants to legally pay for her own security, be my freaking guest. Nobody cares. But do not advocate for policies that would put your constituents who can't pay for private security in a bad spot. That's what we hate. But with all this back and forth about the Epstein files, Democrats won't call this out. Stacey Plaskett has been serving as a delegate to the United States House of Representatives from the United States Virgin Islands, and that's their at-large congressional district. She's been in office since 2019. And also in 2019, Michael Cohen, President Trump's ex-attorney, he was testifying on Capitol Hill about the whole Stormy Daniels stuff. And while Michael Cohen was testifying, Stacey Plaskett was texting, I guess, her close and personal friend, Jeffrey Epstein. So here is a video that the House Oversight Committee put out. This is Stacey Plaskett literally texting Jeffrey Epstein in 2019. Watch this.
Obama was president of the United States.
Are you chewing? This is text from Jeffrey Epstein
struggling neighborhood in
to
Chicago,
Delegate Stacey Plaskett.
He commented that only black people could live that way.
She texts him back, not anymore.
Attorney-client privilege, yes.
Then he texted him. Cohen just brought up Rona.
Pointed out, misled this committee
Keeper of secrets.
That contradicted
She's looking down at her phone, texting.
You were going to review that. Did you review? Are you
Rona?
going to
She
review
asks.
it in our next break to correct the record? Yes or no?
Yes.
Question.
Quick, I'm up next. Is that an acronym?
Or were involved in the campaign as a representative, as a spokesman, even in your words today.
That's
your
his
idea for
assistant,
the
Jeffrey
campaign
Epstein
dating
said
back
to her.
2011. Is that accurate? Yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Weisenberg,
and now she gets to ask questions to Michael Cohen.
Are they with the Trump organization?
They
and
are.
Are there other people that we should be meeting with?
So, Alan Weisselberg is the chief financial officer.
You got to quickly give us as many names as you can, so we can get to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Miss Rona? What is Miss Rona's position?
Rona Graff is the Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, she was. Her office is directly next to his.
And then a text from Jeffrey Epstein, good work.
Involved in a lot that went on.
So Jeffrey Epstein is coaxing this woman through this hearing. She's literally asking the questions that Jeffrey Epstein wants asked in that hearing.
Important to note that Plaskett is the delegate for the U.S. Virgin
Islands, where the Little St. James is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the non-voting Democrat representing the Virgin Islands, where Giant St. James and Little St. James are, these two islands where he was orchestrating these sex trafficking rings, she is taking orders from Jeffrey Epstein. Why are they so buddy-buddy? Now, Plaskett initially declined to comment when asked about this. But then after the Washington Post exposed these text messages on Friday night, her office offered a statement saying this. During the hearing, Congresswoman Plaskett received texts from staff, constituents, and the public at large offering advice, support, and in some cases, partisan vitriol, including from Epstein. Yeah, no one's concerned about her getting text messages from her constituents and staff and the public at large. People are concerned about the fact that she and Epstein are texting. He is telling her what questions to ask to basically get Trump. Then the statement continues. As a former prosecutor, she welcomes information that helps her get at the truth and took on the GOP that was trying to bury the truth. And the Congresswoman has previously made clear her long record combating sexual assault and human trafficking, her disgust over Epstein's deviant behavior, and her support for his victims. Well, how disgusting or how disgusted could Plaskett really be with Epstein when they're clearly on a texting basis, they're friends, and he's feeding her questions to ask Michael Cohen to get Trump? Get real. I saw someone in the chat say that the Democrats are literally in bed with Jeffrey Epstein. They are. And they never wanted this to come out until they thought that they could get Trump. Taking a quick break here to tell you about Genucel. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out on the early Thanksgiving sale from our dear friends at Genucel. Don't wait and go to Genucel.com to get their brand new Neckline Lift Essentials package for over 70% off. Get rid of that turkey neck and sagging neckline and get compliments all around the dinner table And when you order today, Genucel will include their immediate effects for results many see in just minutes, not hours, plus the top-selling Genucel Deep Firming Vitamin C Serum included in the Essentials package. You will give thanks this holiday for 10 years off your appearance, and everyone will see the difference, guaranteed, or 100% of your money back. That is the Genucel promise. Go to Genucel.com/scroll, Genucel.com/scroll, and from now until Thanksgiving, you can get their brand new Gua Sha massager with red light therapy to help amplify your results, and shipping is also free. Use my code at checkout, scroll, for an extra 10% off. Genucel.com/scroll, Genucel.com/scroll. Also, I want to tell you about our friends Fatty15. You know, I'm in the gym most days and I need my joints to be on point. I need my sleep to be on point. And you're probably like me. You want to find something that will help you feel younger and slow down aging. And I'm excited to share with you guys C15 from Fatty15, the first essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years. Fatty15 co-founder Dr. Stephanie Van Watson discovered the benefits of C15 while working with the U.S. Navy. And based on studies, we know that when our cells don't have enough C15, they can age faster. Fatty15 can help repair and protect age-related damage to cells and help activate pathways in the body that support our overall wellness. Fatty15 is a science-backed, award-winning, 100% pure C15 supplement that comes in a gorgeous, reusable jar. I am having so much more energy since Fatty15 sent me some to try. It's helping me get through my long days, and as soon as I put my head down on the pillow, I fall asleep. My sleep is wonderful. I'm feeling so good, and I know you will too. So Fatty15 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels and help support your long-term health and wellness, especially as you age. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/scroll and using code SCROLL at checkout. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All right. Like, we've been covering this all show, but we were even covering this on Friday. Democrats, what they're doing on their phones, it should just be their own business, but they're not smart. They're not smart. They're doing it out in the open. So Congressman Brad Sherman, he is a California Democrat. He was on a flight, on a public commercial flight, and he's scrolling through nudes, he claims, on X. So here he is. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to ask you to zoom in on that. We don't have to zoom in, but he's looking
That'd be a negative ghostwriter. Do not zoom in on that.
He's looking at girls in like bikinis and underwear and stuff. And, you know, why would you be looking at this on a flight? I don't know. Maybe a private flight when you're alone. Okay. But this is a Democrat congressman. He's 71 years old. So I don't know. Maybe he thinks that people can't see his screen. I'm not sure. But here's the statement that he provided. This is his excuse. This was nothing more than scrolling through Twitter. And unfortunately, Elon Musk has ruined the Twitter algorithm to give people content that they don't ask for or subscribe to. That's actually not how algorithms work at all. The algorithm doesn't just give you stuff that you wouldn't like and you don't interact with. So the algorithm is likely giving him exactly what he wanted. And, you know, he was looking at it on the flight. So clearly he couldn't even help himself. This is clearly what he's into. And I will say that I am on X all day. I look at it for work all the time. I am scrolling, as you know. No pornography has ever come up on my X feed. I just have to say, you know, if this is how algorithms work and this Democrat congressman is just claiming that like Elon Musk is just pushing porn on everyone, it's not being pushed on me. So I don't know. Then we covered this last week. James Tallarico, he's a Democrat running for Senate in Texas. He was caught following all these Instagram OnlyFans models on Instagram. And he's 36. So this isn't even an age thing. This is a Democrat thing. They're just dumb. And speaking of dumb, this is my good transition into Transgender Awareness Week. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has posted this lovely post on X for Transgender Awareness Week. Were all of you aware that we're supposed to be aware of them this week? I didn't know. Anyway, this is what she had to say. This Transgender Awareness Week, we celebrate the resilience, courage, and beauty of the trans community. Your lives matter, your stories matter, and your right to thrive and exist is non-negotiable. We stand with you today and every day. the beauty of the trans community, that's crazy. But I did look into this because I feel like we already have Pride Month in June. And I thought, what is this for? So I looked it up. Transgender Awareness Week is November 13th to the 19th, which, good news, it's almost over. But it is the 1 week celebration leading up to the Transgender Day of Remembrance, which is another bullshit day that doesn't need to exist. But apparently, and I had to look this up as well, the Transgender Day of Remembrance is different because that memorializes victims of transphobic violence. And I will say, I'm going to condemn violence against anyone. I don't care if you're weird or I disagree with what you're doing. You shouldn't be attacked for it. But this is all not to be confused, by the way, with Transgender Visibility Day, which, if you remember, during Joe Biden's presidency, he made that proclamation. That was on Easter Sunday. So the devout Catholic president that we had, he put Transgender Visibility Day on Easter Sunday. And then the year before that, I believe, that's when they invited the tranny to the White House and he flashed his fake boobs.
It was unfortunately very visible.
So visible. And this is the joke that I'm trying to make, because transgender people, they are visible and we are aware. You are visible in all the places you don't belong. Trans people are visible in women's sports, women's bathrooms, women's locker rooms. They're taking women's scholarships, awards, and other opportunities.
The White House front lawn.
The White House front lawn. You're showing us your boob jobs. We see you. We see you doing all of that, and we are well aware. And, now it's becoming so mainstream in the Democrat Party that they're running for office. And now this transgender woman, so man, Giselle Byrd, has been appointed to, get this, the Massachusetts Commission on the Status of Women. She is their Program and Planning Committee Vice Chairwoman, they say. So yes, Massachusetts, they have appointed a man to the board of the Massachusetts Commission on the Status of Women. And what that does, or what they're supposed to do, is provide a permanent, effective voice for women and girls across Massachusetts. So who could be better at that? A man with fake boobs. The commission stands for fundamental freedoms, basic human rights, and the full enjoyment of life for all women and girls throughout their lives. So they have a man who thinks he's a woman and dresses like a woman, making decisions about the rights and freedoms of women. That's the Democrat Party. A lot of women have been assaulted, they've been confronted, they've been made uncomfortable by trans women. They are not feeling the full enjoyment of life by sharing these women's only spaces with mentally ill men. So shame on this group in Massachusetts. But Libs of TikTok, we all know Libs of TikTok, they post, the whole point of the account is to make people aware of what's going on, right? And Libs of TikTok posted, unreal, Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey appointed Giselle Byrd, exactly what I just told you, right? And, this is a state senator from Connecticut, Scott Wiener, replied to Libs of TikTok saying this: "You're so thirsty for engagement, you don't care if your bigotry incites violence against people. Libs of TikTok is a straight up hate group. For the record, that outfit is amazing, as is the woman wearing it." So this is a man, a liberal man, so I use the word man lightly, but a liberal man who is in the state house in California. And this is the same state senator, by the way. We've all been covering this story about Gold's Gym and Tish Hyman, the black lesbian who was in the locker room getting confronted by this violent trans person. And she went and spoke to Senator Scott Wiener, who said, well, trans men are men and trans women are women, and, everyone should feel safe. So Scott Wiener has already made it very clear that he does not care about women. He only cares about mentally ill men. And speaking of mentally ill men, he is one of them, because here he is in a leather tie. that he posted on X. I can't believe he would post something like this. He wasn't embarrassed. But Libs of TikTok posted, keep your kids away from Scott Wiener with a red flag. And he was, I guess, not embarrassed enough to wear this out in public and then reposted this saying, Chaya is on a bender about me. Glad she likes my leather tie. So this is who California voted into office. Yeah. Here's another one. This one's not in office yet, but this is a candidate for Michigan's 7th district. His name is Elion Badger. That's actually not his real name. His real name is like Sam something else. But he's running as Elion Badger, and he's a furry. So if we could pull up his website here, this is him. And the photo that you're seeing of him in I think this is supposed to be a honey badger. He's in a honey badger furry costume in a top hat and suit that has like weed plants on it. So if you haven't seen enough, I'm about to show you more. So he's a Democratic socialist, and he wants you to do all the work for him. He doesn't want to do any of the work. He doesn't want to raise the money. He is calling on everyone else to do the work and campaign for him. Watch this.
Only you can progress us forward. If we need to get money out of politics, why does it take $2 million to win my district? Greetings, Internet. My name is Elion. I'm running for Michigan's 7th Congressional District to unseat Tom Barrett.
Greetings,
my primary
Internet.
focus is universal health care. And at this point in my campaign, I am no longer asking for donations, but I'm demanding that you progress us forward. I can't buy advertisements on television and billboards because I don't have money, and I won't take money at this point. I'm demanding that you, the voter, promote my campaign. I don't care what district you're in. I don't care what state you're in. It is up to you to progress the Democratic Party forward, because so far we've gotten off target. And I think it's up to you to bring us back on point. Vote Elion. I'm the calloused hand congressman. We need to fix this damn car. And I need you to share my campaign. Go to ElionBadger.com to see the rest of my policies.
This is just not a normal person.
It's a Reddit mod. He's made it outside finally.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he got up from his mom's basement. He wiped the Dorito dust off on his gray sweatpants, and he went outside, and he decided to make this campaign
first
video.
Was blinded by the sun that he hasn't seen in years.
No, he's very pale. Very, very pale. I can't talk because look how pale I am. We were just talking about this before the show. It is winter in Florida right now. I'm not as tan as I once was, but yeah, no, he is like vampire pale.
Well, it doesn't help that even when he's outside, he wears a head.
Right. So not only is he a total loser, but he is also one of these leftists that are totally violent and didn't see anything wrong with Charlie Kirk's murder. So this is what he posted on TikTok 5 days after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Watch this.
How are we supposed to defeat evil if evil is mourned when it's defeated? Just taking a break from work. I had this thought on my head all morning.
Yep. So that's the left. They're violent. They don't think that it's evil. And what are you talking about?
The breaking news is that he has a job.
Yeah. Where does he work? He looked like he was like, up on top of telephone poles rigging power lines, but we know that ain't the case.
It might be. I don't know. Maybe he does have a job. Good for him. You know what job he shouldn't have? Congress. So if you're in Michigan and you are in the 7th district, look it up and make sure that you vote for the Republican that is in office right now. He needs to stay there. All right. Michelle Obama was talking about how, she's on her worldwide complaining tour, and she's talking about how America is not ready for a female president. Watch this.
Do you think that impacts the room that we've made for a woman to be president?
Well, as we saw in this past election, sadly, we ain't ready. That's why I'm like, don't even look at me about running, because you all are lying. You're not ready for a woman. You are not. So don't waste my time. We got a lot of growing up to do. And there's still, sadly, a lot of men who do not feel like they can be led by a woman, and we saw it. What was the question?
I just said,
She pulled a Kamala.
We don't need to ask it again. You answered it.
Funny. Girl power. Anyway, she's saying, like, don't look at me to run for president. America's not ready for a woman. Okay, so you'd be perfect. Don't shy away. You'd be perfect.
She had the guns out in that interview. I don't know if you saw her arms, but...
You know, she does look a lot thinner. I'm thinking she's on Ozempic.
Probably.
And this is someone who, you know, ran on, you know, she took chocolate milk out of the school lunches. She made everyone eat apples and no one could eat. She made everyone eat apples, that horrible woman. But I know middle schoolers were really mad that she was effing up the school lunches. She made them, or she tried to make them healthier. And apparently she took the strawberry milk out too. People were mad about that. Anyway, you can't be an advocate for, you know, bettering your life and being healthy, and then you're on Ozempic. Come on. Anyway.
I just want to know what milk she's drinking to get her back that big. Cause
well, I don't think that was milk, but anyway. She's talking about how America, the country, is not ready for a female president. And I think that why wouldn't America be ready for a female president? What America is ready for is a good candidate. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, but you have to be a good candidate. I think America would... Why wouldn't they elect a woman? I mean, so many women sit in elected office right now. They're congresswomen, they're whatever. And if a good one actually ran for president, I don't see why not. I can't name one that, you know...
You weren't motivated to Pokemon Go to the polls?
No, I wasn't motivated to Pokemon Go to the polls. And, you know, with Hillary Clinton, she's got hot sauce in her bag. She's pandering to the, you know, the minority communities. So Hillary was a total flop. She's super unlikable. Kamala, I feel like, is more likable personality-wise, but she's just so dumb. And she could not string a sentence together. So that also didn't help. So if we could find a competent woman to run for president, I think that might happen. And I would bet my money that we will see a Republican female president be the first female president. I don't think the Democrats will run a competent woman. But I will say Democrats think that men who dress as women are women. So maybe the first female Democrat president will be a biological male.
I sure hope not.
That would be crazy.
I'm not
oh
sure
my
we have
gosh,
a
that
country
cannot
if we
happen.
get to that point, but
that cannot happen. All right, it's 47. Can we skip ahead to this GOP conspiracy theory thing? So I saw this on Instagram, and someone in the chat said Hayley for president. No. I would never run for office. People at Mar-a-Lago were asking me, would you ever run for office? No, never. People say never. Hear me right now. I will never run for office. Gross. Anyway, I was on Instagram, at Hayley Caronia on Instagram. And I posted this on my story. So if you follow me, you might have seen this already. But I thought that this was funny. A liberal made this, but I can take a joke. So let's pull this up. All right. What GOP conspiracy are you? So I want everyone in here to figure theirs out. You could drop yours in the chat, but mine, because my birthday's in July, and my favorite color is pink, and my first initial is H. So my GOP conspiracy theory is the deep state can shapeshift into a food stamp while getting gay married. That's my conspiracy theory. What's yours?
I am the MSM created COVID while wearing a hijab.
Hey, the mainstream media did kind of make the whole COVID thing. They made it worse.
I've got Anderson Cooper bought stock in Antifa on a socialist dare.
Totally believable. I'm in.
You don't even have to sell me on that one.
Frankie, what's yours?
Obama can shapeshift into a food stamp to keep the whites down.
People in the chat said Anderson Cooper trained cows. It already went away. The mainstream media created COVID while wearing a hijab. So someone had the same thing as yours. Someone in the chat said all of these make total sense. The blacks drank blood of a bald eagle while forcibly vaccinating a flag. George Soros created COVID while forcibly vaccinated a flag. Obama will harvest your trigger finger for the ghost of Hugo Chavez. The mainstream media created COVID for the ghost of Hugo Chavez. The mainstream media can shapeshift into a food stamp in the pantry of a Marxist pizzeria. Nancy Pelosi can shapeshift into a food stamp for the ghost of Hugo Chavez. A lot of Hugo Chavez. What initial is that? We're getting a lot of that one. I can't see. Oh, K and L. The mainstream media created COVID to keep the lizard overlords happy. 100% true. Like, I would put all my money on that one being true. 100%. Nancy Pelosi created COVID because everyone's a secret Muslim. Nancy Pelosi would run for president. Oh, that's not on it, I don't think. Anyway.
George Soros is a really ugly woman. That one wins.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Is that real?
Chat right there.
George Soros is a really ugly woman? I feel like they're longer than that, no?
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting lied to. But
Yeah. Anderson Cooper face swapped with Mike Pence to keep the whites down. Hillary can shapeshift into a food stamp on a socialist dare. I don't know. I thought that this was funny. I wonder what's the best one that we can make out of this. So the birth month options are Hillary, Obama, George Soros, Hunter Biden, the blacks, Anderson Cooper, the deep state, Nancy Pelosi, Tom Hanks, Bill Gates, AOC, the mainstream media. The color options are bought stock in Antifa, collected toddler faces, bankrolled abortion farms.
I found one.
Face swapped with Mike Pence. Go for it.
Tom Hanks drank the blood of a bald eagle while in a tan suit made by Mexicans.
No, it's only controversial when Obama's in the tan suit. It's only controversial when Obama does it. I like the collected toddler faces. That's something Hillary Clinton would do, I think. So I would go Hillary collected toddler faces in the Marxist pantry, in the pantry of a Marxist pizzeria. I think that would, it's giving Pizzagate, and I like it. Someone said Obama created COVID to keep the whites down. George Soros face swapped with Mike Pence on a socialist dare. Joe Biden was euthanized with ivermectin. What are the other options here? Created COVID, drank the blood of a bald eagle, trained crows to unionize, will harvest your trigger finger, can shapeshift into a food stamp, built a Jewish space laser, used happy holidays as a sex incantation. Is that what that says? Invented anthem kneeling. And then the initial options are while wearing a hijab, in the pantry of a Marxist pizzeria, to keep the whites down, while getting gay married on a socialist dare, for the ghost of Hugo Chavez, while forcibly vaccinating a flag, for the child prison camps on the moon, to keep the lizard overlords happy because everyone's a secret Muslim, in a tan suit made by Mexicans while living in a 5G cell tower. I love it. I love conspiracy theories. Someone asked me to put this on my X feed, so I will do that. Hopefully I remember to do that. Someone remind me to do that. I'll do that. And I'll repost it on my Instagram as well. But should we get into some scrolling time? Let's do it. All of these, right? Let's do number 27.
No, because you're telling me that a conservative man is going to see me walking by in all of my amazingness and say, "Oh yeah, that's a man." Do you see this face? Do you see this cute little top with the bitties out? Do you see the high-waisted jeans highlighting all of the assets? Come on, girl. I'm gonna get catcalled before I get called out for being trans. Let's be real.
Catcalled before being called trans? I don't think so. We know these people are mentally ill and delusional, though. And they are feeding into the delusion, so this makes sense. But I also stalked this guy's Instagram, and he posted for Happy Lesbian Day. So this is a man who dresses like a woman, so he's just taking the scenic route to being straight. All he is a straight man. You're
a
a
little
man.
disappointing that you stalked this guy because I was really hoping that was satire.
Oh, no. No, this is real.
I mean,
And
my
this
jaw
is-
dropped when I was cutting that video. I was dumbfounded.
You're welcome. So this is a man doing a horrible job dressing as a woman who's attracted to women. So you're a dude. You're a straight dude. But that's how bad liberal men don't want to be straight. That's literally what it is. Like the left has made it so evil to be a white man, a straight white man at that they will do anything. They will call themselves trans lesbians to get around it. It's crazy. All right, let's play 28. Here's a trans person getting upset at a woman wearing a Native American Indian costume.
Is that a costume or is that how you are? Huh?
Do I look trans?
A little
Yes.
bit.
You look trans.
But it's also Halloween. I look trans?
I was just minding your own business. I'm not even talking to you. I don't give a fuck what you talk.
You're offended? You're offended, but you're dressed up like a girl.
The guy also in that video said to the guy chirping him, "Do you look trans?" as an insult. So this is a trans man using "you look trans" as an insult. Like even they know that they're ugly.
Yeah, Freudian slip.
Even they know that they're ugly. It's totally insane. And this is a man wearing a costume of a woman getting mad at a woman wearing a Native American headdress on Halloween.
I don't mean to be Sherlock Holmes, but he had a beard.
He did have a beard, but weren't you fooled by the fishnet tights and the bra? He was so gorgeous. He was so sexy. Anyway, this next video, I feel like Justin might have some thoughts on this, being Italian. So this guy is questioning when you should drop your nationality and just be American. Watch this.
At what point do we stop claiming these countries that our grandparents came from and just accept the fact that we're Americans, you know? Like, if you're a first-generation American, like, okay, you're Italian, you're Mexican, you're German, whatever. Second generation, but third generation, it's over. If you're a third-generation American, you're ethnically American.
Thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, it's a little sad to hear. I don't know, maybe it's just the reality I'm not accepting. But, like, I grew up around second generation, third generation Italians, like 100% until me. I'm the first half. Like
Right.
My whole mom's side's 100%.
Right.
And I mean, we have these traditions. We eat pasta and gravy every Sunday.
He eats pasta, therefore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a weekly thing. Like the day after Thanksgiving, we have Italian Thanksgiving. I don't know. It's just these things and
Right.
words I hear. Like I don't feel like I've lost it entirely yet.
I think you can celebrate the culture, and that's wonderful. I'm American, obviously, and I'm a bunch of different European whites. I'm just like a whole bunch of white. I'm Irish, English, Welsh, Scottish. Did I say Irish? Italian, German, French. So I'm a bunch of stuff, right? But I don't really like identify with that because I'm so many. But I think if you're like half Italian, half German, or half whatever, you have more of a pride.
Yeah, my mom's side is 100% all the way to
Italians.
The great-great-grandparents who came off the boat.
Very proud, proud of their heritage. Greek, very proud of their heritage. Someone in the chat said, "Thank you, Hayley, for looking at TikTok so I don't have to." You're welcome. I will say the water's fine. You can jump in and it's a lot of fun. But I will do it for you. All right, let's hit the last one.
Where do I find a hot liberal boyfriend? You're not fucking going to. My ex-girlfriend told me that transgender people go through just as much, if not more, than people did in the Holocaust. You're not gonna find a fine shit that puts up with that.
Yeah, when women are on TikTok and they're crying because they can't find a hot liberal boyfriend, when conservative women want to find a boyfriend, they go to Home Depot and they find a real man. But liberal women, like, you would have to go to a protest, or I don't know. You'd have to go to like a coffee shop or a protest, I think, to find a liberal man. But certainly conservative men, I don't think, are going to put up with a liberal girlfriend who thinks that trans people have been through worse than Holocaust survivors.
I don't think conservative men are going to put up with a liberal girlfriend.
I agree.
With a beard, Andy says.
And I will say the only comparison I can think of between Holocaust survivors and or Holocaust victims rather and trans people is that there are some inhumane medical experiments going on, except trans people are signing up for them. So that's the difference. Let me know when a liberal wants to admit that. But thank you for scrolling along with me. We really hit the mark today. We were right on time. We hit the 30 seconds at 30 seconds. I'm only 13 seconds late here. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for watching. Just a reminder that rumble.com/Hayley, of course, if you are watching right now, you already know that. But rumble.com/Hayley brings you to the Bongino Report channel. Make sure you're subscribed so that you never miss a show. Of course, if you can't catch us live at 6 p.m. Eastern time, that is okay. You can watch whenever you want or listen on your favorite podcast platform. And of course, you can follow me at Hayley Caronia on X, Truth Social, TikTok, and Instagram. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Bye.